Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages. I'm Double R, and today we're covering the AGD, or the anti-gator defense. The anti-gator defense is one of the few early lines that come up from NPC SJW types to avoid topics. I have named it this way because it is always the anti-gators that have this issue, and they are the ones that quickly come to this as a defensive mechanism. Ergo, anti-gator defense. For those of you who don't know the entire situation, let me go ahead and run you through a couple in summarized versions. If you want more details, pretty easy to find. Gamergate was an issue where a female developer was dating one guy, then, for reasons unknown, well, allegedly, she decided to date 4 to 5 other people while breaking off her deal with her relationship with her boyfriend. The defense came up as these are all neckbeard, basement-dwelling, male video gamers who just don't want women in their video game club. Why is that the defense? Because it is attempting to avoid the actual issue. What did the gamer gators in this case actually want? Transparency. Because you see, the 4 to 5 other guys that she was dating were all video game reviewers, and she had a game coming out, and the game was a CBT, or computer-based training. And miraculously enough, she had some really good marks from those people. Gamers noticed it, threw a flag on play, said, hey, could you, I don't know, be a little bit more transparent? Next time you want to review a game, could we at least be informed that maybe you have a relationship with this person? The AGD kicked on and went, nope. Y'all are just being sexist. We have nothing to be transparent about, y'all are being sexist. Our view stands. The AGD was so strong at that point in time because games were hitting their stride, and, well, media wanted to shoot that down quicker than they wanted to shoot down D&D with the Mazes and Monsters movie. So the way they did this was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. NCIS had an episode devoted to, well, Gamergate, where, of course, the gamers were the ones that suddenly ambushed a woman in a bathroom, said, get out of gaming, and thrashed her, and then, oh my god, which isn't what Gamergate did at all. They point out the fact that these reviewers were biased, and the reviewers like, nuh-uh, y'all just sexist. Y'all just sexist. Remember that, because that is the AGD. Go ahead a few years, and then we ran into Comicsgate. By the way, on record, just because you name something gate doesn't mean it's a frickin' conspiracy. For those of you who are uncertain why gate is always used, it was based on Watergate, which was the, I believe, don't hold me to this, it was either the Nixon or the Clinton incident where it was Watergate, and that was a location. But everyone decided to put gate in back of everything to be conspiracy, kind of like how Inception is always supposed to be something within something within something, even though that's not exactly what Inception means, that's what it became to mean. You follow what I'm getting at? Great. Let's move on with Comicsgate. Comicsgate, or Comicsgate, whatever, was pretty much the consumer, the comics consumer, the typical customer, like the gamers in Gamergate. They're like, hey, we don't need all these politics in comics. You can have your politics in there as the underlying thing, which is why people used to say X-Men was an analogy for gay rights. Underlying, fine. Putting it in people's face, not so fine. This is why people liked Sonic the Hedgehog. It was an environmental versus industrial situation. Fine! It was underlying. Fine! Of course, what did the professional comic side do? Man, you just don't like us because we women's. Anti-gator defense. And it wasn't just women either. Oh, you don't like this person because they're gay. You don't like this person because they insert race here. So, the anti-gator defense, in so many words, is the pejorative statement used by the NPCs/SJWs as one of the earliest lines of personal defense to disregard the legitimate claims of the side that they're arguing against. That being said, in the roleplay community, this has also come up with the BBC/Black community versus the ABA, or the Anti-Black Army. In terms of roleplay, I'm saying this again and I'm saying it clearly, again, in terms of roleplay, the BBC/Black community are typically people who want to say the N-word with the hard R. Now, AGD is of course a pejorative statement, because again, it's one of the first 3 defense lines that they come up with every time. And in the roleplay community, same thing happened. I put out a video where, again, the sides I got the definition from were from them. I hopped on a character that was unaffiliated with my writer tag. I hopped on a character purposely for that reason, so I can get some information and to test them out. Several of the black characters I talked to told me to pay to talk to them. Not doing that. Again, it's roleplay, fuck you. Not doing that. So I had to go through their profiles, and there was a few profiles I got to go through, and the summary was pretty much using the N-word. You know, the one that PewDiePie got in trouble for saying? They just wanted to use that because, oh, a black guy is doing my character, so I can say it. Not how that works. Now, I have seen many BBC characters. If you don't know what that is, go back to my first video about this. But I've seen many BBC characters who aren't dumb like wool. Hung like wool? Sure. Dumb like wool? No. I have met plenty of BBC characters and accounts that are strangely very respectful. This is why there's Section 1 and Section 2 for BBC. But you notice I didn't break off the black section as Section 1 and Section 2. Because almost every black account that I ran into, and I purposely used a character that was white and male just to test the theory, they spoke out of character to me, not to my character. My character addressed their character, and they spoke out of character to me, that I would have to pay them. You know, that's a negative. That's a negative. It's roleplay. I don't do that. Now here's the incident. Here's the fun thing. I'm not even a member of the ABA. I'm not. I'm not a member of the black community. I'm not a member of the BBC. But I am very much against outright racism, and when y'all speak out of character, like y'all black, and some of y'all have been proven to be white, and you just want to use that N-word because you want to be better than PewDiePie, which you're not, you just found a loophole that you think works. And yes, I am being a little bit hard on y'all, but here's why. The black community is actually a community. Granted, it's a porn community, but it is a community nonetheless. By what you are doing, you are pretty much insulting their community. As it is a porn community, it is a storyline pretty much based on that kind of logic. It is a thing. It is blaxploitation. Yeah, that means you're treating black people like objects. You know, I thought racism was done until y'all proved it wrong by speaking out of character and using the N-word when you proved to be white. So, some of y'all really need to double check that. You need to stop. But yes, it is blaxploitation in terms of roleplay. And what did they do to defend? My character's black, so they being racist. I'm half black, half white. If you can't tell by my hair, I am quite literally the product of your little kink fetish. So interracial, I have no problem with. None at all. But you guys, who find having a white person screw a black person a kink. As I proved in the first video, I put up the definition of what kink is. And y'all just do it to use the N-word with the hard R. Why? I don't know. I don't get the whole gung-ho thing about that word in the first place. People are saying the black folk were taking that back, but they still get overly triggered by it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Whatever. The point remains that you are pretty much insulting the community. Now, to the first set of BBC, the ones that make said characters neither A, don't know what it means, or B, they know what it means, but they're respectful. You guys I have no problem with. You keep things in character, and there's discussions out of character, you keep it civil. Top-notch, A+, gold star. This is why I'm not in the ABA. I agree with you guys. Y'all do your thing. You stay respectful. You stay good. I'm with that. I'm down 100%. But to the second set of BBC, that treat women like objects and have those women treat them like objects, that show no loyalty, because again, it's based on a porn subsection. It's a kink. No, it's not a kink. A kink would be like feets. Feets? Feets? Really? Feets? Would be feet, blowjob, handjob, toys, certain types of toys, food, fetish, whatever. Fetishes are certain things and kinks are certain things. When you take a person or a group of people as a kink, that's a bit racist. By default, you might want to watch that. By you saying, it's just a kink, you're literally saying, I'm a racist. Good going! Black people are people, not objects. This shouldn't have to be said. But again, y'all want to use the N word with the hard R from a white character because special? The second section is where I start having problems, because the second section of BBC, as well as the black role players, they're the ones that want to have the white people use the hard R. They're the ones that have the gang super thug mofo, I'm badass, yada yada yada, with a 30-inch cock and yappa-doop-a-doo and scuba-doop-a-doo, every stereotype in the goddamn book because I am the stereotype master. Now I have a problem. Now I have a problem. Just a wee bit. Which of course comes back to the first section, where strangely they don't go hard stereotype, which blows my mind. How can the first section of BBC not have a hard stereotype version, but the second set go full spiral into it? It makes no sense to me. And yet that's how the BBC part is divided. The black community, the black RP community, there is no division like that. There is none. There is no division. I have yet, out of 10 accounts I found that were black, I have yet find one that said, out of character, hey, my character is going to try to charge your character, just saying. No, they spoke out of character directly to me out of character. Because my character is white, me, the player, has to pay them. Now, I'm sure there's a couple accounts out there that don't do that. But if I have to pay you out of character to have a character discussion, there's a problem. Now, again, if you don't believe there's such a community, go to blacked.com. It's a porn of blaxploitation porno. This is like the subsect of, oh, pizza guy, I don't have any money. Surely I have something you want. You get the idea, right? There's little storylines that are common of porn. It's kind of a thing. Even, what movie was it? Zack and Miri Make a Movie. They even made fun of that porn situation.
Do you want me to give you your cream now?
I've been waiting for it all day.
Fuck.
Oops.
I spilled my cream. Do you mind?
I don't mind, especially if you spill it on my face.
Let us fuck!
But that's pretty much porn storylines. They're not that strong. They're not that strong. Porn storylines are not that strong. Strangely, hentai storylines are decent, but porn storylines are not that strong. Just put that out there. Just something to think about. Now, why do I bring up all of that? Why did I start with a definition of AGD? Why did I go into re-dealing with the BBC and the black community for the roleplay side? Why did I go into these? Well, as you can tell, the BBC, across the board, think that the ABA is saying everyone that's blacked, every black account, 100%, 100%, all the black account, all of y'all, BBC, black, all y'all are racist. We're going to stop y'all from being racist. So of course all of the BBC, section A and B, went, you guys are racist because my characters are just black. Now why is this a problem? Again, section 1, they're getting, like I said, they're getting dragged into this, unfortunately for them. They're getting dragged into it because they use the same tag because they saw the black thing as, the black community as the porn community and went, okay, I can work with this. I can make a character like that. Not a problem. and they kept civil. But the point stands that there are some BBCs that are very respectful, but they're being dragged through in the ABA war against the black and the other BBC types because they are the racist ones. Like I said, the second section of BBC, they are the stereotype. They hit a stereotype as hard as possible. If they're supposed to be a thug character, they are going to be the thuggiest of thug characters. If they're going to try to be a badass, they're going to try to be the baddest of badasses with a 30-inch cock. And if it's less than 30 inches, then they're not exactly a BBC to most of the BBC community because that's a little short. Just putting that out there. So keep that in mind. They're going to look for, if I remember the number range, they're going to look for something between 15 to 30. Just keep that in mind, 15 to 30. And most are going to gun for 30 because big numbers, you know. Because, you know, put 30 inches into a girl, I'm pretty sure they could survive that. Although 12 inches is a foot. So that's what, 2.5 feet into a person? Have you measured 2.5 feet into a human being? Have you? You know, that's fine because there's people who roleplay gigantic, body that's morphic, super huge penises that are 3 times the size of their body anyway, and they stick the whole thing into a person, and somehow they could have that tip come out their mouth for some magical reason, and the person's not dead. Last I checked biology, they'd be dead as a doornail, but, you know, moving along with the confusion. Yeah, there are some people with some weird fetishes out there. Again, looking into the black community, I wound up finding all these. There's not enough brain bleach in the world for me right now. There's not enough. I tried to brainwash myself, it didn't work. Then I poured bleach in my brain, that didn't work. It's still there. Still there. There! As long as the ABA are fighting against the black community and the BBC community from the roleplay sect, the first section of BBC are forced to be siding with their community. They have to. They're stuck with it. They have no choice. But Double R, you brought the AGD. Isn't this lovely? Now let's talk about this jabroni for a minute, shall we? This jabroni here. This little Rudy Poo candy ass. This guy decided to grab one of my characters who shared the video to try to put it out there, because that's one of my accounts with 1K followers, so I used that one. I put the video out there so people can see it, so they understand, if you pay attention to it, that's where my definitions came from each group. Not about each other, but about the same groups. I put that out there so they see, hey, this is how your community is being projected from your community members. Of course, they went, nope, that character shared it, that means that character is part of the ABA, which means racist, as you see here. Then this person has the audacity to say, oh, I'm not trying to do this out of character, I'm trying to do it in character. I'm calling y'all racist in character. Okay, Jabroni. Alright, you maleficent motherfucking moron. Let's go ahead and break down why you are wrong here on so many levels. Just to prove that not only can I dissect your falseness, but I'm going to do this in such a way that it's going to be very sad for you. So first step, since he is saying that this is supposed to be in character, his character's never interacted with my character that he put on this list. Not at all. Never once. Not once at all. Didn't even say hi, didn't say whatever, didn't say what's up. Not even in the same city. 2 different characters, 2 different zones, 2 different universes, 2 different realms, 2 different cities, all together. Wouldn't even know who the hell she was. Wouldn't even know who the hell he was. Wouldn't even know who the hell they were. No connection at all. Strike 1! Can't be done in character. The word racist can't be done in character. That's strike 1. Strike 2 comes up when you go look at ABA, which is the acronym of the Anti-Black Army, which I put in the first video, which is a video I've made out of character, because all my videos are out of character. And surprise, frickin' surprise, here it is on this list, referring to my character as a racist ABA moral guardian. That's strike 2. Nowhere in character has this character ever said anything about ABA. I've always stated it out of character. Even on this character. You goofed twice. On to Moral Guardian. Now, since Moral Guardian is the last set of words in this list, it is obviously referring to a sarcastic tone of, you know, ABA being the righteous indignation side of the community of roleplay. Okay, I'm going to have to stop you right there, buddy. By calling someone racist, you are a moral guardian. Just by default. Because you're saying they should be disavowed because they are racist. That makes you the moral guardian. So... Strike! Free! He's out! Now that's if you want to do this as you claim to be in character. If you want to say, no, it's not in character, it's out of character, fine, we'll play it that way too. Racist. What's the number one complaint about the black community? A bunch of white characters using the hard R for the N-word. That's racist, and yet you're not calling them out on that. Strike one again. An ABA member. Well, I'm not an ABA member. I'm putting out the facts that both sides are giving me. Strike two. So now we go to Moral Guardian. I'm not a Moral Guardian. I'm putting facts out there that y'all give me. Both sides. All y'all. That's why BBC has a subsection. That's why they're broken in half. Because there's one side that's actually respectful, and I respect them for that. And that's why I made sure to accent that there's a Section A and a Section B. Section B are you jabronis, who just can't let it go, and who just don't understand what ABA is trying to say, so you're going to try to use the AGD. Look at that. Something that I brought up at the start of this video. Strike three, he's out again! 2 outs! Now we go on to looking at the character itself. Fun times! Since he decided to use Miles Morales, because, you know, the Spider-Verse came out recently and everyone loves the Spider-Verse, he decided to go with Miles Morales, a black character. Surprise, freaking surprise. Well, for those of you who don't know how his profile read, let me see if I can summarize it for you. If I remember correctly, he, for some reason, had to put his cock size on there. We now have one last issue to deal with. Remember when I said, I ain't paying real-life money to talk to somebody? Well, we have an account that does just that! Now, originally when I saw this account, I fell over myself laughing because they had some spelling errors. It was Standart and Munt. But they fixed it. That's good. That's an A+. They fixed that. I can almost take them seriously. Except for their grammar and English and some other things. But as you can tell by this profile, you pretty much have to pay them to interact with them, or at least for sexting. At least for sexting. So yes, even in the roleplay community, there are phone sex operators. Now, I'm going to say this in their defense. I don't care who the writer is. I don't care who the writer is. But it's a 30-year-old man and it's a white guy. No, I don't give a shit. 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 Why? Because I defend role play, not role players. There's only one time I defended a role player in any general, broad sense. Why is this important, you ask? Because it doesn't matter. They are a phone sex operator. They are an equivalent of a phone sex operator. Do you follow me on this? They are an equivalent of a phone sex operator. You do not. It was even said in Family Guy. You do not go out with a phone sex operator. At any point, you do not.
The phone sex lady. I'm going to meet the phone sex lady in person. Whoa, wait a minute, Peter. I wouldn't do that.
Hang on, Quagmire. That's a bad idea. You never want to meet those phone sex women in person.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I wouldn't do it.
Good. Don't.
You don't go and meet them. You don't go and interact with them person to person. You do not interact with a phone sex operator outside the job.
Joe, you realize what you're telling me not to do, I'm already not doing. Okay, I know you should never meet a phone sex operator. All right, I'm not an idiot. I would never meet one of those people, ever.
Good. Don't.
Seriously, you don't do it. That is the equivalent. They are a phone sex operator. It doesn't matter what they are behind the text. The text stands as text. For those of you who are really upset that the phone sex operator happens to be a white male who's over 30 behind the keys and whatever, let me ask you this. How do you like the Marvel movies? I'm just asking. It's just an inquiry I have. Because, you see, do you like the character of Iron Man in the Marvel movies? Yeah? Okay, cool. How old is Robert Downey Jr. again? There you go, sport. Got you on a technicality. Robert Downey Jr. is over the age of 50. He's role-playing Iron Man, who is around 30-something. Let's measure that again. Even if Robert Downey Jr. was 30-something, to match the age of Tony Stark at that time, that means he is still over the age of 30. He is still a white guy, and he is still role-playing. Granted, it's his job to role-play as Iron Man in this case, as Tony Stark in this case, because Robert Downey Jr. is a paid professional actor. An actor, of course, defined time and time again, at least by me, as a professional role player who is cosplaying, or a professional cosplayer who is role playing if they're really bad at their job. So if you're going to go after someone for being a white male, or if you're going after someone just because they're not who they claim to be, there's a problem only on the fact of if they are trying to hook up with you out of character, then blast them. Then put them on blast. Have a fun time, go full throttle, double barrel shotgun, have a good day. Do it all you want. But if they are offering a service, as in phone sex or sexting in this case, they're not expected to go out with the persons that they're sexting with. They're not. You are a paycheck. That's it.
This is Akeno. Old nigga got no job. This nigga fucking up. Nobody paying him. This is Akeno. Old nigga got no job. This nigga fucking up. Nobody paying him. This is Akeno. He 31 years old. Who pays for RP though? Nobody paying him. You are an idiot and fucking illiterate. Paying for RP. Hey! You need a Snickers, bitch. Yeah, who the fuck pays for lewd? Yeah, I bet he ugly too. Yeah, smell like all that shoes. Yeah, this shit ain't fucking new. Yeah, lewd is overrated. Yeah, I will never pay this. Yeah, suck a dinosaur dick. Fucking, oh.
So when you sit there and stress, oh, this is a catfish, they're a 30-year-old guy who's sexting, good for them. If any person is deluded enough to pay for roleplay, even in lewd senses, that's on them, not on you. Don't worry about that. Because the person taking the money is not there to take the money and instantly fall in love with them and instantly go on real-life dates with them. No. You pay them the money, they send you a text. That's it. That's the limit of what they are concerned about.
Bullshit! Just stop this thing! I order you! Stop!
Here, sir. Here, let me help you, sir.
Are you all right, sir?
Fine. How have you been?
Fine, sir.
Good.
It's a good thing you were wearing that helmet.
Yeah.
What should we do now, sir?
Well, are we stopped?
We're stopped, sir.
Good. Well, why don't we take a 5-minute break?
Very good, sir.
Smoke if you got 'em.
It's like going to a job and doing your job. If you have a problem with this sex phone operator jabroni person doing their thing, then you have a problem with Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man. Same thing. Follow along. keep up. And if you don't keep up, you gotta keep up. You have to keep up, or else the bus explodes and we all die. Keep up. When everyone blasts this person for being a guy and whatever, to me that doesn't matter. What matters, again, I don't defend role players, I defend role play. And what is being offended in my case is the fact they're asking people to pay them to role play. You want my attention, you gotta pay me. This is role play, motherfucker. I ain't gotta pay you shit. Period.
Why hire someone to do a job that everyone does for fun?
Now I get it. If you're good at something, for those of you on the back, if you are good at something, you would be paid for it. Your grammar, bro, is it needs work. It needs work. I have 2 college courses in English. Understanding literature and English theory by itself. I got both of those. I passed them. Very well. I cleared them, even though I don't speak it that way. But I cleared them. I cleared them very well, with room to spare. You need some grammar help. Just a wee bit, okay? If you're going to be a professional and you're going to charge people, fix yo grammar. At least you fixed your spelling on some of the words. I'm happy with that. You're starting in the right direction. Keep on improving that. Fix it. Fix it and make it good. Okay? I don't care that you're a guy behind the thing. I ain't paying you in the first place. That's how it works. Sorry. That's how I am. I'm role-playing to role-play. I'm role-playing to have fun.
But at a certain point, you have to realize some things are hobbies and some things are functions of a working society.
I'm not paying you to role-play with you. I'm not. Now, I'm pretty sure somebody would probably pay you to do it. Have that. Merry Christmas. Good for you. Not my thing. I hope I was perfectly clear on this longer video. I really do. And if it comes up again, that y'all decide to use the AGD, you know, the pejorative defense mechanism thing that's going on. And yes, I'm going to call it pejorative because that's literally one of the first 3 lines y'all always come up with to defend yourselves. Before you even argue, look at the side of the argument that's coming up. Instead of saying, oh, you guys are racist. Nah, stop being an NPC. Stop it. I should not be able to go, oh look, the AGD. If that comes out of my mouth that fast, that means you fucked up. You have not looked at any of the discussion. You have not looked at any of the problems that they're having with you. Now, as an update, I did check those 10 accounts that I tried to roleplay, well, not roleplay with, I tried to get information from, and they thought I was trying to roleplay with them, which caused an issue in the first place, but whatever. I checked those 10. At least 4 of the 10 have pulled back from using the hard R. They've pulled back from using it as liberally as they did before. So that tells me somewhere in the community, someone actually looked at what the ABA was saying and going, oh, that's their problem. That does look kind of bad. Okay, I got it. I'll adjust a little bit. And just like Gamergate, where people started coming out with, you know, a little bit of transparency, at least a couple of the black accounts have realized, yeah, maybe they were being a little bit racist, and they're trying to pull it back. Now, they're not pulling it all the way back, they're not hitting full brakes, they're not going from ludicrous speed to full stop, but they are pulling it back a little bit. They are slowing down, they're chilling with it, and that's good. That means they're at least accepting the fact that maybe they've gone a little bit far. Did I hit everything I need to hit here? Let's see, AGD, check. BBC Section 1, check. Section 2, check. Black, check. The situation, check. And Jabroni, check. And then the paid, check. I got them all. Okay, there we go. I'm Delore. I'm out. And have a good day.